Hello everybody, welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video. Today is part 2 of our mini Tylo base series, tackling Tylo that I'm calling it, because take on Tylo is Matt Lown's idea, and take on, that is beside the point, because today we're going to be assembling the base that we launched in the previous video. So if you didn't watch last video, do that if you want, but basically what we did is we launched just a base to Tylo. We just made like an inline base, so it's not assembled, it's just all the modules put together and then in just whatever way they could fit, and then I put them on Tylo, and now they're just sitting there and we need to get that base assembled. So we're launching a crane right now to go out and build our base for us, which I thought could be a pretty fun thing to do. So we've already staged away our boosters. Now we are just burning with our 16 vectors on the bottom, which is a lot of thrust, but still not that much relative to, because we have to get all this stuff out to Tylo. So just stage that away. Now we have 6 of the skipper engines that are going to be firing in our second stage, followed by our interplanetary stage, which is going to be nuclears. This stage does not have a lot of TWR, and I pitched over a little bit too quickly, so I started descending a little bit. This happened last video too, so I had to pitch up super steeply because I really didn't get, Tylo is big. You need a lot of mass to land on Tylo. The mass to payload ratio, very bad. So, there's, granted the crane only weighs 30 tons, the rest of it weighs a lot. We have to get a lot of stuff into orbit around Kerbin. So this can flatten out now, and this stage will get us almost to orbit. We're going to use a little bit of our nuclear stage to get us just the rest of the way there, and then we'll get ready to head out to Tylo. I know I've been saying this for the last few videos, but I am going to plug my poll one more time. I'll make it quick for you guys, just because I know you guys have heard this a lot if you watch my videos frequently. So basically, I'm going to be starting a new series, a colonization series. We're going to be building bases and shuttles and SSTOs and space stations and all the fun stuff, and rovers and all that fun stuff. We're going to be colonizing the planet. It's going to be a nice big long series that I'm going to be starting the next probably 2 days, 3 days. And you guys have a vote going on where you guys can vote what the title of the series is and also what planet or celestial body we're going to be doing it on. So the 4 choices are populate Pol is number 1, in which the destination is Pol, the outermost Julian moon. Number 2 is going to be Kraken Kingdom, also known as Bop. That's in reference to the Kraken Easter egg that's hanging out on Bop. And we build a kind of a colony around the Kraken. Option 3 is Val Village, which is kind of speaks for itself on Val. And then option number 4, final option, is going to be Make Drez Great Again, which is at Drez. And we need to make Drez great again because we need to make some good real estate deals on Drez. The Drezians are getting ripped off. We need to make a wall, and we'll make Duna pay for it. I don't know. So that's your 4 options. Vote if you want. Pin a comment below. So I'll talk about our mission again. So we're going to be doing our trans-Julian injection, or TJI burn. I did have to raise my orbit a little bit. I could have done it in 2 burns, but the maneuver nodes were a little bit glitchy for this video. They've been glitchy for a lot of times recently. I'll have to figure out what's going on, but that's just a maneuver node thing. So we're just going to be doing 1 big burn. We have enough delta V. We're not doing any sort of gravity assist or any of that nonsense because I wanted to get this video done quick. This whole getting there portion, I kind of wanted to take a little less time than last video, just because you guys already saw it, and you can only going to Tylo is only, you can only do it so many times before it gets boring. So that's it's a little bit shorter than getting there, because the assembling of the base is just a complete meme. So that'll be fun to watch when we get to that part of the video. And while we wait for that to happen, we can. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for the channel. They're doing great. We're at like 170 subscribers. We're closing in on 200. Now I have a goal to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, which it's possible, guys. If unless I do something really stupid and screw up the channel, it seems like it might happen. So that'd be nuts. So thank you guys very much for watching the videos. I got something crazy, 500 views yesterday. It was nuts. That's one of my biggest days ever on this channel. 500 views. Think about that. That's nuts. thank you guys very much for watching, and especially to those who watch like the whole video, because that like really helps it get recommended more. So thank you very much if you're doing that. Really do appreciate it. Watch time, very important in YouTube. Two things important: your click-through rate, which is how many people click on the video based on the amount of times it's shown, recommended to people, and number two is how much time they watch it. So you know, if you're watching the full video, and you clicked on it, you're really helping the channel. So thank you. So let's get back to the videos, shall we? So we're coming into Joule now. Just lower our apps around Tylo, or be a periapps around Tylo. Just lower our orbit now. We can time warp down to Joule. You can kind of see it appearing in the background there, and see all the moons going around, and that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And it's getting the same thing. Burning at periapps. Could do Tylo gravity assist or lathe assist. You could do, you know, gravity assist really help, but like I said, you know, we have enough delta V, and we're not plebs. We're not try hard sweaty. Just kidding. I have nothing against. I like gravity assists. They're fun. I didn't want to. I've done them in videos, but you know, if you can afford it, you can do it. You know, people. You know, if you can afford something that's stupid, you can buy it, even though it's stupid, because you can afford it. Because hey, it's your money. My delta V. I don't know what. It's not like there's like a huge anti-no gravity assist coalition going on. It's not like yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going to time warp a little bit, or not time warp, but crossfade across, but just crossfade past our maneuver node planning, because it's, you know, you guys have seen maneuver node planning 1,000 times, and yeah, so basically we're getting into an equatorial orbit around Tylo to match up with the location of our base, which is one thing that's nice about Tylo actually is it's really flat. Because of gravity, if you don't know gravity, it pulls down mountains and stuff. So typically, the more gravity you have, the flatter a thing is. So basically, Tylo, there's not a lot of hills you can land. Like places on like Duna or the Minmus especially. Like it's really hard to get a good place to put a base down because, you know, there's hills everywhere and it's a mess. But Tylo is like perfectly flat. That's one reason to colonize Tylo or build base around Tylo. There are not really any other. Because it's not practical as like a refueling stop, because it costs so much delta V to get to and get back. It's just you end up wasting more than you'd get from it. But you know, this is an outpost. This isn't a refueling. It's like a base to like do science and to, you know, science, or like maybe to visit. You know, this thing. It's mainly a science base, and we're getting ready to rendezvous with it. I don't know if that's the right word. Landing accurately on Tylo, very, very hard, because you have to, you know, because you're coming in at 2,000 meters a second, you really have to time your burn perfectly. I tried for like about a half hour, and the best I got was 10 kilometers, so that's the attempt you're going to be seeing. I don't think you guys want to see all my other attempts, because that would be stupid. But we're going to deorbit now, and then we can get ready to do our landing, and it wound up being like 9.3 kilometers, so not quite 10, but you know, we have a crane that can drive, so it doesn't really matter, and it could get going to like 60 meters a second if it's going downhill, which is pretty weird for a crane, but either way, we're going to just use the rest of the few hundred meters a second left in our nuclear stage to do the initial part of our deceleration, and then we're going to firing up some wolfhounds, which are going to do some more, and then we're going to have one more stage at the bottom, which is going to do our final landing, just because this thing, just like the base, it has doesn't have a very graceful way of landing, as you'll see. We're going to do another crash montage. Because yeah, so that's the thing. We just have thuds there, and then it's really kind of imbalanced because of the weight on the top. It's really hard to control. So we're coming in, and ooh. I have a little extra delta V here, so I can kind of mess around with things. But I made it worse. Ugh, yeah, that's not good. Ooh. Ugh. Oh, whoa, explosion. Big, jeebers. Was this one gonna work? No, it's not. Nope. Oh, wait. That one did work. Yeah, I kind of used my bottom stage as like kind of like a crash pad to kind of brace my landing on. Like I said, not graceful, but we've made it now, and the crane is undamaged, and we're gonna drive out to the base, which is quite a drive, but physical time warp and time lapses can make that a lot quicker. So just chugging along now to the base, and then we can do the memey part, this is not a very well designed crane, and Tylo has a lot of gravity, so putting the base together was not very graceful. So we're just going to come over the final hill, and I'm going to start the fuel cells because I realized we were about to run out of electricity, and that would have been bad, wouldn't have? Then our crane wouldn't have worked. So we're going to get over to our base now, and then we're going to get the first module. First of all, we're going to get the crane opened up, and then we're going to get our first module, which is like that command pod looking thing. It looks, just like a lot like a command module, but it's kind of like the center, the heart of the base. So we're going to grab that. Actually, no, we need to detach the other modules first and get rid of the solar panels, or not get rid of them, but close them up, just because they're very susceptible to explosion during crane transport. But I guess that's they explode. So now we're going to get the crane, and we're going to get that thing rotated upwards so all the other stuff can be docked to it. So just rotate that upwards, and then we're just going to leave that right there, and we'll get the everything docked to it. Yeah. Now we're going to go over to this module. This is a science module. It has a bunch of experiments and stuff and a mobile processing lab. So that's where all the science is going to be done on this base. It's probably important where Kerbal's going to be spending most of their time at doing, work and stuff. So got to get this thing on, right, don't we? So this is also the heaviest module. So I'm like, let's get the hardest one out of the way first, because I thought heaviest would be. No, this one was not the hardest. There were other ones. This thing was just a mess. But you'll see what I mean in a few minutes. So we're just going to be pulling in around. This thing's not a great turning circle either, but so this thing has to go to its docking port, because some of these payloads are at different height, because some of them are made out of bigger parts and stuff. So this one has to go to its specific docking port, and there it is. That's docked up, and now we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go and try and grab the communication module, which is not cooperative. As you can see, it keeps getting stuck. I can't really get it to move, so I try and back it up and drive it, and it's just all wobbly and weird, and what's the... Because I don't have the docking port on one side, so I have to go around the other side, because I was holding onto the docking port side, and then let's come back to that, shall we? So let's do this is the crew module. This is where the crew are going to be living. This is their quarters. I think this thing looks kind of cool. So doing the same thing now, because the docking port's on the one end, so I just need to pull it away from the other stuff, and then need to go around to the other side, which doesn't have the docking port, to attach it to the station, or the base, the main structure. So this thing is going to be docked to its docking port, which is going to be just on the other side of the science module, and then that's going to be that, and then we can move on to our final two modules after this one is done. This one was the easiest. Yeah, the other ones were pains, especially the communication and the solar panel. Solar panel was the worst. We'll see that in a minute or two. But this one was actually fairly easy. You just got to get it aligned, and then eventually it'll just come together. Oh, or not. That, I don't know why that happens, but that's what quick saves are for, right, guys? So we'll just try that again, and a little smaller bouts that time. So we're going to be moving on now. We're going to try again with the communication module, because it wasn't cooperating last time, so maybe it'll cooperate this time after I kind of try and move that expended stage away, but the crane can't really carry it, so we're just going to just roll it away. Goodbye, even though it's not even going anywhere. We'll just leave it right there, and then we can get back to the communication module, which is a duck. Look at it, because I have a piston down there, and it can't really understand what's going on, so it hops around like a duck. This thing, I tried locking the piston. I tried. This thing literally hops around. Look at it. It hops around like a duck. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. My payload hops around. I think that's a duck. What else would you call that? It hops around. Look, it look maybe like a pogo stick. That's what it looks like, a pogo stick, but like with a beak, like why? Why did I think that was a good idea to put a piston? I thought it just looked cool, like maybe it's like some support or anything. Bad idea. I should have tested that, because yeah. And now it looks even how it. Why? It's just hopping along. It's just hopping along, and then we'll come back to that. So I said, okay, enough with that. 2 times didn't work. Let's do the solar panel now. So I thought this would be the easiest one. Like, look how tiny it is. Wrong, because the docking port is not. The docking port needs to go to is at slightly the wrong height, so it didn't want to dock. Like it literally wouldn't dock. So you'll see right here as I try and like get it to move in, it like just nope. And it's super, like, see how it's wobbly like that too? And I cut out a lot of this stuff. Like, you guys are only seeing part of it in 4 times speed. So like this was like a good half hour of just me whacking this thing into the base, hoping it would work. And it never did. And if I ever whacked it, it would like repel again off and like just drive away. It was a disaster, just like everything else in this ridiculous video. Boink, 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 boink. That's a little kind of wrong, to be honest, but who cares? Gotta do what you gotta do. Boink. Ugh. A lot of boinking going on. It kind of looks like a blind person. They have their walking thing that helps them see where they're going. That's what this looks like the crane can't see. I don't know why I thought this would work, but actually, eventually, as you guys will see here in a few seconds, I get it fairly close, and I'm like, okay, I think it's not quite here, but I zoom in, like, oh, doesn't happen yet, still more boinking, boink, boink. Right. Looking at it now, I really should have cut out even more, because this is just a lot of boinking. And then, yeah, right about, yeah, here is where I realized, like, okay, it's super close. So I decided to drive around to the other side, try and lift it up, and then maybe I can lift it up and then it'll dock like that. Like, I'll grab it and then I'll lift it up and then it'll be at the docking port's height. Like, yeah. And then okay, so let's do this. So I mean, it's close, so we're gonna be nice and slow here, nice and slow. So slowly. Even though, okay, now we're doing it slowly, and then I try and go forward a little bit, forward and turn, and oh, it worked. Freaking worked, man. Freaking worked. Who would have thought? I genuinely didn't think that was gonna work. So I'm like, okay. I mean, it's a little sideways or crooked, but I really couldn't be bothered at this point. I was one to go, guys, and it's the ridiculous, like, duck one. There it goes, it's already starting. So I'm like, okay, we need to stop this. So what I end up doing is I just end up something blew up. I actually have no idea what blew up. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go with it at this point. And there it is, just bouncing along. What I end up doing is I end up raising it off the ground a little bit. So that actually stopped it. I could have done that and it would have been fine. And this module actually was fairly easy after I got the bouncing to stop. The pogo stickage. I just brought it together and bouncy. Ugh. Just when everything was going good. But hey, you know, we had a quick save, so we could just do it again, and this time and yeah, there's no bounce that time. So we did it. The freaking base is done, guys. That's gonna be it for the 2-part series. We're gonna extend the solar panels now, and they do a bit of a stupid thing when they extend because they need to turn around and they end up just smacking the ground. And we kind of do a wheelie with the base, or a panelly. That doesn't make sense, but it was a good feeling to get it done. It was a good feeling, and that's That's going to be it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the series if you watched both episodes. I'd like to thank you for watching. So next time, please rate or comment to this video. Once again, thank you for watching. We will see you next time, and bye.